Hey, this is Al from Transformational Gaming. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, we would appreciate it, and we've appreciated the subscribers that we have up to this time. But today I wanted to talk about some points of contention, at least for the people that I associate myself with, namely one of my best friends and my wife. And this item in particular is very controversial because we live in an apartment. So let's just say our music isn't always turned to a volume that is not leaking into the next apartment. But because this item is controversial and things like that, we wanted to go ahead and upload this, because at the end of the day, the heart of this channel is a tech channel, and that's always what I wanted to have for the channel, is for it to be a tech channel and for us to be able to dive into some of the tech. And that's one of my goals for this year, is to have more tech items on the channel. So without much ado, let's get into it. So the Polk HTS 12-inch amplified subwoofers. Now, I'm not an audiophile. I just like, loud, clear, bassy music, And so I've been obsessed with these speakers. Now, these speakers actually came out around the time the channel came out, around 2 years ago. And at that time, I wasn't looking at any subwoofers or anything like that. But to make a long story short, I bought these with the full intention, if I didn't like anything about them, I was going to take them back. But what happened is when I got them, I hated them. I hated this speaker. I was like, oh my goodness, this has no amplification, no power, no anything. And so, I was ready to set up the box, and something said, hey, just listen to it from about 4 feet away to see kind of what you think about them. Because, when I had the speakers, I was about to put them up, and I ran across the instructions, and I read the instructions, and I was like, well, let me take a look at these instructions. For the most part, reading through them, it mentioned that you should have the speakers close to your front speakers. And so I decided to do that. I just said, let me put these close to my front speakers and see how it sounds. And that's when I fell in love. I fell in love with the speaker because this speaker wasn't necessarily made to be powerful. It wasn't made to be a home ground shaking type of speaker, but it was more so as a complimentary speaker. If you want power, you need 2 of these. And so I fell in love so much, I actually bought a second one. So I said, you know what? Since I'm buying this, I might as well make a video about it. And so that's what I did. And I would recommend these speakers. I mean, first of all, when I unboxed it, and this is not an unboxing, this is kind of more like a quick look at, this speaker. But yeah, when I first unboxed it, I mean, the first thing you notice that this thing is huge. Like, the speaker itself is huge, so you're gonna have some trouble if you have a very small apartment like I do, trying to hide this thing. So I said, you know what, bump trying to hide it. I'm just going to put it somewhere where you would expect it. And yeah, I took the grill covers off, and voila, there it is. So yeah, this, technically speaking, this, first of all, this speaker does not amplify at 0.18 hertz. But what it does do is project at 0.18 hertz. And these speakers sound excellent. I mean, these speakers do sound excellent. They are crafted very, very well. And honestly, I was kind of shocked because I have the Polk 505s, I think they are. And the 505s was some speakers that Polk came out with for the lower tier subs at 12 inches. But this speaker does take the bass, the subwoofer bass lines up to another level, because they're able to shape the way the sound is projected out of the speakers, and they're good as complementary speakers, especially if you have older subwoofers and you want them to kind of amplify at lower volumes. These speakers are kind of accommodate those needs. So yes, these do a very good job at amplifying at low resonance and low frequencies. And I have to just commend Polk on these speakers. I gave them on Amazon a 3 stars out of 4. That's just because they don't have that much power, but in actuality they was never advertised as having a lot of power, but they do project sound very good. And I think that's the next step in audio technology, is sound projection. You can save a lot of money, especially when you got different settings in the acoustical settings. So I think it's a great speaker for what it does. You got a small to mid room speaker, and that's all you need for a home theater system, and these resonate very, very, very well. So hats off to Polk. Yes, I would recommend these speakers, even though I gave them a 3 out of 5. That is just because of horsepower. They don't have the horsepower to amplify at 1.8, but they do project well at 0.18. So I don't know why I keep saying 1.8, but it's 0.18, which sounds excellent. It sounds excellent. It sounds excellent. So go out and buy these. I did want to make a video about these real quick. So yes, please go and get these. I think these are some excellent speakers. And I like to add that these speakers are on sale on Amazon for $300. Okay, $300. Now, some people may say that's a lot of money, but at $300, when these are usually at $450, I think it's a steal. You're getting $100 and something off, $150 off for the most part, and I think these are still at that price.